Dental Podcast,
where real people,
real stories,
and real life come together.
This is the Life and Dentistry Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of the Life and Dentistry Podcast.
We missed you, Big Joe.
Man, what's so funny, Scotty?
What you been up to, Joe?
Hey, y'all missed me last week.
Joe was getting creamed in the face.
Oh, that's right. By the Mexican.
Did y'all see
the Mexican creamed you in the face?
Yeah. My office took me out to dinner for my birthday.
Oh, man. I wish I had a green screen. I'd pull up that picture right now.
Hey, you can go on Facebook and look at it. We probably need to post that picture or something.
Yeah, we were doing some podcast recording and you were getting creamed.
Screamed in the face, I guess.
Hey, Scotty, did you get hit by that hurricane?
Yeah, we got hit, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't as bad as everybody was expecting, or at least for us. We had a lot of flooding in the middle of town, but we had a bunch of trees and stuff down around here, but we got out lucky, though. It could have been a lot worse.
Cole's been on like a 2-week vacation for this.
Nah.
It's a holiday.
Actually, it will be. By the time I start back, it'll be about a week and a half.
That's good, though, man. You needed a break.
Makes it harder to go back, though.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing? You been up in Kentucky?
Yeah, I've been up here. I've been doing some work for the podcast, doing work for the Voices Conference coming up.
Oh,
doing some work.
Good work, Cole.
Dude, we have to make an announcement, dude. We got some big news, huh? We got invited to be at the Voices of Dentistry Conference this year. We're gonna be speaking. We're gonna have a booth. Y'all come check us out.
Boom. Scottsdale. So what is it, 28th and 29th maybe?
Yeah, of January.
Yeah.
Go to we'll post some stuff this week about the conference. I think there's like a discount right now if you sign up early. Dental students, I think there's a discount. So y'all check it out. It's gonna be
check it out. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, so here I'm gonna actually pull up the website here. I think right now it's $200 for dental students, but that goes up the 18th.
That's cheap.
So by the time this is released, it'll actually go up. But if you followed our Instagram, our social media, then hopefully you've seen that the discount is active right now. But if you go to voicesofdentistry.com, you can get tickets. It has the student discount tab on there. And let's see. So if you're a dentist, if you register now, I'm not sure when the time changes. Actually, that's September 18th too. But right now, you save $300. It's $897, but if you do it now, it's $597. It goes up to $897 September 18th. But student discount.
Go to the website, check it out. Yeah. You'll get to meet Lewis and Scotty.
Oh yeah,
Scotty's muscles are actually for real. They're not just in the picture. So
I'll be working on them. I'll be working on them.
I'm actually legitimately as big as they describe on the show, so I'll come check that out as well.
Cole's fat is actually for
all right, what you got for
That's cool. Fellas, this week I'm on my own. First week, Dr. Brown took off half a week, so I'm the only doctor in the office.
I was thinking you're divorced or something.
No, what? Where would you get that?
You're on your own?
No, I mean, I'm on my own in the office.
How's it feel?
God help those patients.
Feels pretty good, I think. I'm confident. I'm ready. Everyone got a good staff, so they kind of help run things a little bit. But it is a little bit different because, for me, I just as an associate with 2 other doctors in the office, you can always rely kind of on someone, if you need to get bailed out or
bounce ideas off somebody or something,
Yeah,
it's real easy to do that.
Yeah, it is. So it is, for the first time kind of having that feeling of knowing, you're responsible for your patients, and if people in hygiene need something, you're responsible for that too. So
why are you on your own?
Say again.
What's Dr. Bryant doing?
Him and Dr. Brown went to North Carolina for a CE conference. They're doing some training down there. So
In North Carolina?
Yeah, North Carolina.
I'll actually be doing a sleep apnea one in November.
Nice.
In North Carolina. So me and Dr. Darty are headed up there.
So yeah, it's been pretty good this week. Today kind of sucked a little bit. I did a filling on this girl, a friend of mine in high school, kind of weird situation, and it was kind of sensitive. I've been having trouble with some sensitive fillings, and it's been bothering me. I'm doing different things now. She came in today, and I'm like, well, I'll just take the filling out, and maybe it didn't bond good. Maybe I didn't do something right. I don't know. Maybe it was wet. Anyway, I go to take it out, and when I get in there, I realize that the decay that was there initially was pretty big because the filling was kind of big. I get in there, and I end up pulping it. So when I'm just taking it out, and she had symptoms of kind of like irreversible pulpitis. But anyway, it kind of sucks to know, somebody came to see you because, you were their friend and you're just out of school and they didn't have any symptoms at all. And now I'm fixing to do a root canal on them.
What tooth was it?
Number 2.
Ooh.
And it wasn't.
That'll be fun, Endo.
I guess there wasn't real symptoms to begin with, so
yeah, exactly.
Didn't really have that conversation. This could end up being a root canal.
We didn't have that conversation at all. And then now, you think like,
if they're big at all, I go ahead and tell them, there's always a chance.
I should.
If they're deep at all.
I should have said it. I don't want to. It's weird on a new patient, especially if you know them, because I don't want to scare them. They're already kind of timid. They've not been to the dentist in like 5 years. And then the first filling I do, what do you do there?
I feel like that wouldn't necessarily scare them a ton if you just tell them it's a possibility, but you're numbed up. You're not going to feel anything, but it's always a possibility. And then after you're done, you're seen as like, a good dentist or a hero because you didn't end up needing a root canal,
Yeah, I guess that's true. Is there a line though? Like, it wasn't that big, like I don't necessarily think like radiographically, I wasn't thinking it was going to be that big. When I got in there, maybe I'm like, yeah, this is bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
Do you tell them when you get done, or do you kind of write it out and see if they get symptoms?
I don't know. I guess no. I mean, it's just because something's large. I mean, if it doesn't look at all like it's even close to the nerve, I don't have any habit of saying something. If I feel like, obviously, we know that it's bigger in real life than what the radiograph actually shows. So if I feel like it's getting kind of close, and I try to remember to say something, but I mean, you can't say every time there's a filling that you're replacing,
Yeah.
I just meant if it's like really big, and if we're getting out, if I open it up and the decay is just going deeper and deeper, of course, if I can see it on the x-ray before, I'll definitely let them know, there's always a chance. We'll do our best to stay out of it. But I always let them know too, it's common to be a little sensitive for a little while after if it's really close too. So.
I guess part of me is a new dentist, especially in a small town. You're trying to create a reputation, and if something goes bad at all, in my head I'm thinking, oh, they're gonna think, oh, this wacko dentist, I didn't have anything wrong with my tooth, and now he did a root canal.
I think about that too. It's stressful. It really is.
But I tell them like this, it's like, people who have a heart attack, they don't know their heart's going bad until they have a heart attack, and it kind of starts. It's like a tooth, you don't know anything's wrong. You didn't know you had a cavity until you get in there and do it, or the tooth ends up going bad on you before you can get there to fix it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's good, man. Yesterday we had our first meeting with there's a Spear Study Club going on here in Cookeville. Joe, where were you at, buddy? I didn't see you there.
Yeah, I was kind of running late yesterday.
So what was that about? Like, what all goes into that? A Spear Study Club.
So it's affiliated with Spear. You ever heard of Spear? It's like a very famous dental educator. and we just happened to have one here in Cookville. And some of the doctors reached out to us, younger doctors. They were saying they're having their first meeting yesterday. So, they had dinner, and it was pretty cool. So the way it works is Spear has like
try to put it together.
What's that, Joe?
The specialist.
There's an oral surgeon who heads it up, but there's an oral surgeon who heads it up, and him.
What's going on here?
Dude, what's up?
Is my internet bad?
No, you're good.
Is it slow?
So you said a specialist heads this thing up?
All right, so this week we had a Spear Study Club, and it's run by one of the 2 oral surgeons here in town, and it's him and a general dentist here. And it's really cool. Basically, Spear sets this up, and there's modules, and there's videos, and they'll discuss a case. So they'll have a dentist come on the video, and they'll have a real-life case that walked into their office. And then there'll be discussion points, and there'll be questions, and then we'd pause the video, and we'd be in the room where I think there was about 10 or 12 of us dentists, and we would just discuss the case, how we would do it. And it's a cool thing to do because it's my first study club that I've been to. I don't know if y'all had a chance to do any yet, but it's cool to see how different doctors and and how the specialists, because we had an orthodontist, we had an oral surgeon, endodontist wasn't there, but it's nice to get your wheels spinning on how to approach a certain case that could very well walk in your door the next day, or it's something you've already had. And it's pretty open. The doctors, like they share, hey, I had this patient and this happened and this is what I did and it worked or it didn't work. And there's questions in the modules for us to discuss as a group. It was pretty neat.
That's cool. That's a good learning
So
experience.
Can you take your own case, Lewis, or do they bring cases to you? Like if you have a question, can you bring it?
Yeah, you can. Originally, that's how they started. So it was just a group of doctors, and originally when they started, they would just bring their own cases from their offices, and they would just talk about it. And they decided to do the Spear thing because it's a more set program where it's built for this, and the doctors, once they join, they have access to over 1,000 hours of CE because you'll have access to the Spear website portal, and so they can learn all kinds of stuff and have videos for demonstration for their patients. But the cool thing is actually, let me back up. For you to join, it's very expensive. It's like $1,800 or $1,900, and like us young dentists are sitting there like,
that's it.
Yeah, this will be my last meeting. It was nice knowing y'all.
I'm coming for the free food.
But some of the older, what's that?
Like I'm
I was. We had Outback steak last night, so it was not bad.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
And I missed it.
Oh man, Joe, how did you miss that?
I was at the office. I should have came and got the steak and left.
Dang, Joe.
Oh my God.
Joe stays in that office till like 8 o'clock every night.
What are you doing in there, Joe?
I don't know what he's doing,
buddy.
He's getting creamed by Mexicans.
Oh my God.
Hey, before we move on, I did have a pretty interesting case this morning. I was supposed to take out a number 5 on an elderly lady. She came in and she wanted nitrous, really nervous. She comes in, her initial blood pressure is 195 over like 86.
Yeah.
It's pretty high, really high. So we put her on nitrous, and I get her going until she's actually, she's starting to feel the effects of it. And yeah. But anyway, so we check it, every in 5 minute increments, and it's just continuously going up. The second time we take it, it's 198 over 90. Then it hits 200 over 92. And so we decided to give her some triazolam. Gave her one whole pill, 0.25 milligrams. So we just knew that was going to be it. That's going to, and she started to look like she was calming down a little bit after 10, 15 minutes. Blood pressure did go down from 200 to 195, back to 195 over 92. But then after 15 minutes, she says, I don't feel anything. I feel like I'm waking up again. So we're like, are you serious? So we actually give her another half of a pill and wait another 10 or 15 minutes. And then after that, her blood pressure just continued to go up. The highest it got today was 225 over 102.
Did you send her to the hospital?
We stopped. I mean, of course, we didn't touch her. We were like, all right, this is ridiculous. So we stopped it. Of course, luckily her son was with her today, so he could drive her. And we said,
how old was she?
We sent her right to the hospital. Like, you have got to go get this under control because you're a ticking time bomb.
So did you follow up with her?
Well, they called. Did y'all hear anything back from? I'm talking to my wife. Did y'all hear anything back from Miss Jackie today? Okay. Yeah. I hadn't heard back, but they're supposed to follow back up with us, but they were supposed to go over today. I think she's probably has some underlying medical issues going on, either liver or whatever going on. But she's been on the same blood pressure medication for years, and I don't think it's near enough because she actually took her pill this morning. And, with that amount of triazolam plus the nitrous that she had over an hour, her blood pressure should have just went down consistently, and it was going up. I've never seen that before. Dude,
you bring up kind of a good point. So I've seen this before.
So I didn't touch her. I would not touch her, and then I'm glad I didn't. You
shouldn't.
I've never seen a blood pressure that high before in the office.
Yeah, you did the right thing by sending her on. So I've had some blood pressures that weren't that high, but they were pretty high. And some other things that are like a borderline, like in school they teach us, like Miller's like, oh, you've got to, send them to the hospital or consult with their physician or go get a biopsy. Scotty, you said that today. You sent one. Have you, Lewis or Cole, have you guys seen somebody in the clinic where it's like, oh, you need to get this biopsy or you need to go to the hospital, and whether you're like certain it's bad or certain, you don't really know what it is, you tell them anyway?
For me, as far as blood pressure goes, I haven't had to send anybody to the hospital. I have had a couple patients that were pretty high. I think the highest one was like 210 over, what was the diastolic? It was over 100.
That's really high. Yeah.
But when I talked to Dr. Porter, he's really good with like medically compromised and all that.
Yeah.
And he was saying like he talks to a lot of specialists like in the medical field, anesthesiologists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he said from what he has gathered talking to them, the big things to check is, are they having kidney problems and are they having sight problems? Are they, are things blurry? Are they seeing double? He said, other than that, he said, even if their blood pressure is pretty high, I would just put them on a monitor and continue with the procedure. If their eyesight starting to get blurry or they're having some kidney problems or something like that, then send them to the hospital. But I haven't had any. I've had a couple patients with really high blood pressure, and then I'll ask them, are you having trouble seeing, or is anything blurry or anything like that? And they're like, no, it's just my blood pressure's high. And so then we went ahead and did procedure, and everything's been fine. As far as biopsy stuff, there's one case that was a guy, heavy smoker. It was a white patch bilaterally on the ridge. He had no posterior teeth on the bottom and didn't dip or anything. And so I had one of the oral surgeons. I had him come back when one of the oral surgeons was there and had him take a look. And he was like, "No, it's just hyperkeratosis." And so we just took a picture of it and left it alone. And then there was one ulcerated fibroma that I biopsied and sent it off, and that's what it came back as. So we just curetted it down to the bone, cleaned it up real good, and then did that pedicle graft to close the site up. And I looked at her about 2 weeks ago, and everything was closed up really nicely. It healed up great. The fibroma had pushed 6 and 7 apart, so she had a pretty good diastema there. But she's just going to get braces and pull that canine back into place, and I think it'll close right up. So that ended up all right.
So you're at the residency. You can ask an oral surgeon to come down. It's like in the office. I've seen a couple times. This has happened twice this week, where I'm doing So when we do hygiene exams, we do extra-oral exams too. So like kind of like the full thing, head and neck, and then look under the tongue. And a couple times on the lateral borders of the tongue, twice this week on 2 different people, I've noticed like a white raised lesion. And so immediately in my head, I'm thinking like, I don't know about this. It could be hyperkeratosis. It maybe probably is, but it's like in that location. So I'm thinking, okay, I want to send this to the oral surgeon. Well, then at that point, it's like you have to have the conversation with the patient. Okay, I'm going to send you to an oral surgeon. This is what I think it is. And it's like this huge process. So luckily for me, I go ask Dr. Bryant sometimes, and he comes and looks, and he's been around long enough to see things come and go. And both times he said it's hyperkeratosis, and he said, let's just watch it. But you're still in that position where, if it falls back either way, it falls on you. So it's like, if I was by myself completely and I didn't have him, I would have no choice but to send it to an oral surgeon. What hyperkeratosis or not, I feel like if it's in that spot, you just send it on. What do you think, Lou? You
I was gonna say, especially like on the lateral border of the tongue, or like under the dorsal part of the tongue or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, like something like that. I'd probably biopsy, but
I've had a case.
Also, like take a picture and send it to Dr. Dam and just see what he thinks. Try to get a history, see if the patient's kind of biting on it, or if they've got sharp edges on the cusps next to that spot or something. Then I don't know, maybe a different scenario. But if it doesn't look like anything should be rubbing against it or traumatizing it, I don't know. That's a pretty risky part of the mouth,
Have y'all done any biopsies yet?
Not in our office.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
No, but I have referred a patient to oral surgery for a biopsy, and it ended up being squamous cell carcinoma.
Really?
Again. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Not fun.
Patient came in and he said, I want this tooth taken out. And I looked at the X-ray, and you could see like a black, just kind of mass on the jaw. And it was encircling that tooth, and I was like, man, that just doesn't look right. And when I asked the patient to open, and I looked in there, and it was just this big mass, and it had blood on it, and it didn't look, like how a mouth should look. Yeah, I knew it was bad. It just didn't look normal at all. And the patient, he comes from I think a Mennonite society here. So
I think I remember
his whole thought process was, his whole thought process was, I know that there's something wrong there. Can you just get the tooth out? And he's like, if it's cancer, I don't care. I don't really mind. Can you just get the tooth out? I was like, this just doesn't look normal, and I'm concerned for your health. I'd like to refer you over to the oral surgeon. And come to find out, we get the results a few weeks later, and it was squamous cell, but the patient elected not to have any treatment done. And a few weeks later, I got in touch with the oral surgeon, and he was in hospice like within a month.
Wow.
But he didn't.
That's sad.
Treatment.
That's sad.
He was kind of a younger guy too, wasn't he?
Or
was he old?
he was like in his 50s, you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
And he knew something was wrong. He knew something was wrong. He just they his beliefs, that's just they accept it, and they don't want any treatment.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
But it was our job to tell him, hey,
Yeah.
this doesn't look right. You need to go
Of course,
and
it
get this biopsied.
sounds like
And
the extent it was, it probably had spread everywhere.
Hmm. That's really sad.
yeah, it had spread to his lymph nodes,
Yeah.
so he
Mm.
he would have had to have half his jaw removed,
Yeah.
his whole tongue, the floor of his mouth, and a big chunk of his neck taken out.
Mm.
Man, you did the right
He just
thing.
didn't want to do any of that.
You know, our job is to diagnose
Yeah, I mean,
see it, and you refer it appropriately. That's all you can do, buddy.
I've had other pathologies, a couple that I had to talk with our path professor back at school, and he's been extremely helpful. So just for dentists in general and younger docs out there, like if you maintain contact with some of your professors, they're really helpful, and he helped me come up with diagnosis and differentials, and ended up being nothing, just condensing osteitis. And but he just laid everything out for me, and it was pretty helpful.
I've
As far
emailed
as
him.
like hypertension, like
He's
how we
gotten
were
back
discussing
quick.
earlier, yeah, I mean, he's awesome. Like it's nice to have that. It doesn't take much time. You just need to tell him what's going on, and he'll send you the diagnosis. But as far as the hypertension thing, I get that a lot. People are always, stage 2 hypertension coming into my chair for their extractions. And I guess it's just the type of population that I see. It's just usually people who didn't take care of their teeth, and they need all these teeth taken out. It's tough. Like I won't treat anybody. The ADA says not to do any emergency dental treatment for anybody over 180 over, I think 180 over 110.
You said emergency.
So
You mean elective?
I won't treat anybody. I think it's an emergency.
Okay.
Maybe it's elective. Emergency dental procedures be avoided in patients. Yeah, I think it's emergency.
Okay.
Either way, I won't treat anybody whose diastolic is over 200 and whose systolic's over 190. Like if that happens in the cuff, like I'll give them a few minutes. I'll let them calm down. I'll come back and try it again, because during the procedure, their blood pressure is only going to go up higher, and especially if it's a full mouth or it's a long, lengthy procedure, and they're going to be injecting a lot of anesthesia. So I won't treat anything 190 past.
And that was with my patient. It was just continuously going up, and I've never seen a blood pressure continue to go up after being on nitrous and triazolam. She wasn't even feeling the effects of it, so she must have some underlying issues going on.
Are y'all getting more confident now? Like we've been out, like 3 months in private practice, making own decisions. Are you guys getting more comfortable, like being confident in what you know and diagnosing, your cutoffs, whether it's something simple or something complex like we're talking about? Or do you still second guess yourself a lot?
I'm getting better, but I still, if I have one of the other docs in the office, I'll just run it by them just to make sure.
Yeah.
But I'm getting to the point where, but every time I do that, I'm learning more and more, so I'm getting confident by the day, more confident by the day.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's kind of part of it.
Yeah.
I got a question kind of unrelated, but my understanding is that insurances are not covering the extraction of third molars as much, especially preventively. Have y'all seen that in y'all's practices? And are y'all putting, like, if you submit to insurance for third molar extraction, are there things that you're putting in notes to make sure that insurance will accept those extractions?
That's a question for my assistant, buddy. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have seen that, and one of the insurance people at the residency was telling me about it too, that to be careful with wording when you're submitting extraction of third molars, because the insurances aren't covering it as much. So I don't know, just for y'all to kind of look out for if you're submitting to insurance for extraction of thirds and the patient wants to do it and all that, just definitely put in there, why you're doing it. And it can't be like, because for one, they say the third molars don't really crowd anterior teeth. So I think if you're doing it preventatively for crowding or something like that, they won't accept it. Try to take a probe to the distal of the second molars. And if you got some pocketing, document the pocketing, any sensitivity to palpation, if it's not erupted, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
just
good to know.
Out there.
I probably need to look into more of that, but yeah, I don't deal with any insurance. That's like the office manager and stuff.
I know, man. So
well, I don't submit to insurance.
More? Like,
I don't do anything with the insurance. It's just they take the notes that I've put, and that's what gets sent to the insurance,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I just put in my note what I saw,
Mm-hmm.
and the insurance, the girls that do the insurance send it off. But what they're sending off is what's in the notes. That's what gets sent to the insurance for them to accept or deny the extractions.
So I've heard that that before too long, it could be they want, insurance companies are going to want pictures with pretty much anything you submit. Have y'all heard of anything like that? Intraoral
pictures?
Yeah. I've actually heard a few dentists talking about that. Like insurance companies have threw that around. I don't know if that's so or not, but that's just what I've heard.
I haven't heard that.
All right, fellas, let's talk about some life. We've been talking about too much dentistry, man. What Lou and I went to lunch this week, and we were talking about a couple things. I don't know why I feel like I feel like I'm more tired now sometimes than even I was in dental school. And I thought
I am too, man. I'm exhausted every day.
What did you do when you get home?
I don't understand. I think I'm more tired now than I was in dental school.
Scotty stays in his work clothes when he gets home.
What's your routine, Scotty? Like when you wake up to when you get back home and you go to bed. Like, what's your day like?
Like, what are you talking about?
What's your day like? Like, what do you do?
At the office?
No, like when you wake up from when you go to bed.
Wake up, a workout.
No. Wake up, Scotty.
Between 3:45 and 4.
Why?
Oh my gosh! Why?
I go and get that workout in because I know at the end of the day I'm so exhausted. There's no way.
What time do you have to be at the office?
While you're tired.
7:30.
Oh my gosh!
So 7:30. So you work out at 4:00.
Typically, I'm in the bed by now, or by 9:30, I'm in the bed.
So
Monday through Friday.
You go work out 4:00. You work out for what? An hour and a half, or what?
Oh.
Yeah, a little over an hour. Yeah.
So let's just.
But my gym's like 5 minutes down the road, which is good. And then I come back. I'll cook breakfast, take a quick shower.
So you get.
And then get to the office.
So you get 5 hours of sleep?
Yeah, about 5, 6 maybe on good nights.
You need more than that.
But it's worth it though, because at the end of the day,
you're gonna have a heart attack when you're 45.
What's that?
You're gonna have a heart attack when you're 45.
Hey man, got to stay in the gym.
So when you get off work?
No, it actually makes me feel so much better throughout the day. But what I'm saying is, by the time I get done with work, I'm exhausted. So that's the reason I get in the bed pretty early every night throughout the week.
I am too. Do you think it's not like physically demanding? It's like mentally.
It's mentally, yeah.
It drains you mentally.
It does.
I can't believe you do that. It's like you lead two lives. Like you wake up at 4, go to the gym, come home, cook.
Yeah, well,
there's one life, and then you go to work, come back. Dang.
It just makes me feel alive, man. It makes me feel good throughout the day. I like it because I start the day out feeling motivated. So once I get all that done, I'm ready to go to work. I'm ready to do some dentistry. But by 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm pretty exhausted. I come home, just relax a little bit and eat supper and go to bed.
I always tell myself I want to come home and read a book or do something like productive. I can't.
Oh, I've been struggling to do my implant pathway stuff because once I get home, I'm tired.
Is it more than dental school? Are you like more tired or less?
I don't know. I'm still mentally really tired. Maybe not as physically exhausted as in dental school, but I don't know. What about y'all?
I'm kind of
You off Fridays?
No, most Fridays I'm working. Every once in a while, every few Fridays I'll be off, but most Fridays we try and book Monday through Thursday. But if patients have to see us on Friday, then we'll open. So I got a book schedule
Joe and
this
Lou,
Friday.
do y'all work on Fridays?
Our office works 5 days a week, but there's 3 of us. So one dog, he goes 3 days a week. He's like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then me and Dr. Bryant, no, he's Monday, Thursday, Friday or something like that. And then me and Dr. Bryant alternate every other Monday we're off. So like every other week I'll get a 4-day week. But I drive to work. I live in another town. So my office is like 35 minutes away. And initially I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. I'm like, I can handle that. But in the morning,
that's pretty rough, man.
It is. In the morning, it's not bad. But in the afternoon, especially if I'm leaving the office at 6 o'clock or something, it's like you get to go through traffic and you just want to be home. You don't want to drive anymore.
That's a good thing. The office is about 10 minutes from my house, so that's not too bad.
I'm definitely not as tired as I was in dental school, but I'm not as active as Scotty is, man. That's crazy. I'd rather look like Cole
lunch
and wake up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym and get 5 hours of sleep.
5 hours is pretty good.
Lou takes a nap from 12 to 3 every day.
If I get 5 hours, I'm pretty good.
So what about residency, Cole? Compare it to dental school, like exhaustion wise. Are you as drained as you were, or is it a little easier?
No, I mean, it's like because you don't have any studying. I mean, you're just seeing patients, you know.
So it's a lot better.
I actually work out in the afternoon, so I'll get up about 6:30, get breakfast, head over there. Normally, I'm there about 7:30. We'll have a little 30-minute meeting. You know, is get like somebody will come in from Sonicare, or we'll have a discussion on oral surgery or ortho or something, and then we start seeing patients at 8, go 8 to 12, lunch 12 to 1, and then 1 to 4. We're done at 4, and then I'll come back to the house and maybe get a little snack, kind of chill for an hour.
Did you get a snack? A Blizzard?
Nah,
a Blizzard?
some celery and hummus.
Hey, Cole, on average, how many patients are you seeing throughout the day?
On average, probably 6.
It's quite a bit.
But you have
Cole,
an assistant at all times.
Your question.
Yeah.
So Cole, you don't do hygiene exams, but you do like exam, like eval exams.
No, I do hygiene exams.
Okay. So what do y'all, I guess Scotty and Cole, what's your hygiene exams like when it comes to how thorough you are? Do you do like extra oral exams, or are you like one of the dentists that go in there and just look at teeth and you're done?
I do a quick extra oral exam. I mean, I'll just pretty quick. And then in the mouth, I'll have them stick out the tongue, look at the cheeks, look, under the tongue, especially more dangerous areas. So I'll do a quick extra oral exam. I don't do anything like checking the cranial nerves or anything like that.
No. I'm just talking about, do you feel like any lymph nodes, checking?
Yeah, I'll do that.
TMJ, things like that.
Yeah. I do.
I'll do that. And then, the radiographs have been taken. The hygienist has done her thing. I just ask her if anything stuck out at her.
Okay.
And so but then I'll go through, each tooth, look at all surfaces of each tooth myself, make sure I don't see anything. And what I would actually do in practice is probably have the hygienist say, we'll have like an agreement of what kind of, say that the tooth has this much of a restoration in it. If you see it this much, it needs to be a crown or whatever. So have the hygienist like already have told that, and then the dentist comes in and kind of confirm that. But right now, it's not really. I don't really go through all that, but it's basically just looking at the radiographs, looking at the teeth, and quick exam.
So you're kind of learning some things you're gonna like implement when you start your own practice or take over practice, kind of right away when it comes to those kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get that from the residency. I think that I heard that in from Costas or something. But
okay.
But yeah, I mean, we do hygiene checks, but then we also do, new patient exam. One of the assistants will take a full mouth series or get a pan, whatever you want, and do a comprehensive exam or whatever.
Okay. What about you, Scotty?
I'm about the same. Of course, every hygiene they'll take X-rays at the beginning. So a lot of times, if I get free from a patient, I'll go to my office and I'll go ahead and look at the radiographs beforehand and just kind of get a good feel of all the restorations that are going on. And I can go in if it's a patient of record, I can look at anything that they've kept a watch on and all that. So as soon as I come in, I'll do my extra and intraoral exam, and I always ask the hygienist if anything stuck out to them. Because they're a good source of information because they've been cleaning the teeth for 30, 40 minutes, so
yeah.
And that doesn't take away from me looking at every tooth, but if there's something sticking out, they'll know it. So I always make it a point to ask them that too before I finish.
I don't know. I need to do that more often. I think I don't do it. It's tough because we have so many doctors there and different philosophies. It's hard. It's hard for the hygienist to stay consistent on diagnosing, like you're talking about, Cole, because they can't keep up with like the different philosophies of all three doctors, and they've had more kind of in and out.
And I'm not asking them to diagnose. Like sometimes they'll be like, well, this spot of this tooth right here didn't look quite right or something. You may want to look at that. And 9 times out of 10, I've already noticed it, but I just like to ask them first.
Joe, do you think in y'all's practice y'all could sit down and come up with like an agreement on how you do certain things so it's more systematized in the practice?
Yeah, man, I really think so. I think at some point, once I get more comfortable there and kind of establish myself there a little more, I think that needs to happen. I think systems are.
It just seems like it'd be a nightmare for assistants and front desk and hygienists and everybody to try to figure out who wants what.
It is. It's tough, man. The office I'm at has had a lot of transition with dentists. They've had. I'm the third associate they've had in about a year and a half. So they're kind of. They're going through a hard time trying to adjust. I think that's a key. And that's like if you're going to go, it's like whether it's one practice or you want multiple practices, systematizing everything from the front desk all the way down to diagnosing. If everybody's on the same page, you can treatment plan better, you can schedule better. You're out on.
It's one of those major keys.
It is one of those keys. Matthew and Daniel know all about that.
Be the best.
What's
we
that?
the best podcast. We the best.
We the
major.
best.
We the best music.
We the
Hey,
best.
what radiographs do y'all take on a new patient exam? Y'all do like bite wings and then PAs as needed, or do you do an FMX? Do you do a pan? What do you do?
On a brand new patient?
Yeah.
We do FMX and pan. Or that's what so if it's a new patient on my schedule, that's what I want. I want a FMX and pan.
Did you tell them to do? Were they doing that before?
Yeah, because one of the other docs, he's okay with just bite wings and a pan, but I want to see the anteriors as well. So.
Well, how do you charge that out? Because a lot of insurances won't pay for that, will they?
I don't know. I again. Again, I just tell them what I want, and that's what happens. So
I think they'll pay for an FMX, but they won't pay for an FMX and pan, right?
Oh, that's right. Larry told us that. Yeah, Cole, you're right.
I think they'll pay for an FMX, but you can't do a pan if you do an FMX.
We do bite wings and pan, and if it's something bad, we'll do. My assistants will just go ahead and take a PA. They know what needs a PA, but that was one of the biggest adjustments going into practice.
I was going to say, Lewis doesn't fool around with those silly bite wings. He's just
Lou don't even have.
He's just ready to excavate.
Well,
dig them puppies out of there.
We just have pans, but I do wish we had the ability to take some PAs and some bite wings sometimes. Because a lot of patients come in
if you wanted
and, huh?
Y'all can't take it even if you wanted to?
They just, for whatever reason, the owner doc doesn't have a PA set up, and we just do pans. And so it makes it hard sometimes for me to, when a patient comes in for a consult, and, not everybody comes in needing dentures. Some people legitimately don't have a dentist, and they thought, I'm going to go in for a consult and see what the dentist says about what I need to do. And I'll look over all the teeth. I'll get a probe out and explore in a mirror, and I'll just go through everything, and I'll tell them, honestly, I can't say for sure what's going on these teeth here. I need a different type of x-ray that I don't have in the office. And you have some other needs. I do see some other cavities that could be addressed. And you also need some cleanings or some maintenance, and I'll direct them to either Joe's office or my wife's office or John's office, and I'll say, they have these other x-rays that can give you the correct diagnostics on things. I can just give you a big picture idea. Not all hope is lost. Some of these can be fixed, and I just kind of guide them that way. And then the ones that need to come out, I'll take them out.
That's all you can do at that point.
Hey, Joe, what's y'all social media advertisements? How's that going? Or do y'all do any? Or what's that like?
Before I got there, they had a Facebook account set up, and it's something, if I'm going to be at this practice long term and end up, kind of getting involved with the ownership, I'd like to be a little more hands-on with the social media. I think we could do more things than we are.
Yeah.
I think they may be a little timid to do some of the aggressive posts. I kind of wish we did more posts with getting the office involved, because I think patients want to see that.
Yeah, and that's what we're slowly transitioning to. It's kind of been a little old school when it comes to social media, where a post here and there, but we're trying to post more. We're doing giveaway. I saw
you post about the Yeti thing. That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Did somebody win it?
That's great. And I just checked it before I got on tonight. We've had over 6,000 likes, like 6,000 comments, and over 22,000 shares. So that's been huge. I mean, it's 22,000 shares. It's crazy. It is taken off like it's great.
That's an idea I wanted to do in our office. I need to talk to her.
But it has to be good, because beforehand, my office, they'd give away like, an electric toothbrush or something like that, and which is good, but patients, they don't really connect with that. But,
patients want a Yeti cooler, man.
But you throw in, you look at the publicity when it comes to, $200 or $300 cooler or something like that. But with the response that we've had to that, that's something we definitely want to keep going. And of course, once we do the drawing and we have the winner, we'll take pictures of the winner and all that. And we're going to try and start doing that at least once a month, just a giveaway like that. But it's been a great response.
I think it'd be cool to start doing how we do with our social media page for Life in Dentistry, like doing some live videos with if a patient is cool with it, like maybe having a patient posting like a live video at the office, because some of my younger patients, they'll have Snapchat up, taking a picture of me working on them. What if they did that and then tagged our office in it, or our office post stuff like that? That's good publicity right there.
Oh yeah.
It shows people that you're if they're comfortable in the chair. It's not a place they're afraid to be.
And people like that because they can connect with it more.
Exactly.
It's not just this sterile environment where it's just a dental office. It's people connect with. Okay, these are real people working on us, and they actually care, and they have a life outside of dentistry, and they connect with that.
Yeah, and that's what people want to do. They want to see that you're real. I think that's where social media is going to be. It's a big thing, is because it's your connection to the outside. It lets them see you're real people.
And we're actually doing a staff spotlight, one staff per month too, where we'll post pictures of a certain staff member and just do multiple posts throughout the month, what they like to do, have a few pictures of them working and pictures of them and certain patients, and I think that'll be good as well. So we're trying to implement that and trying to get social media up and running in our practice a little more.
Looks like you guys are doing it pretty good. I want to come down there and check it out in Georgia.
Yeah, y'all come on down.
You guys,
we got a lot of work to do with that, but it's going in the right direction so far.
Hey, what's y'all's call on the UT Florida game?
I mean, I know what I'm hoping for.
No, on this, I gotta go with Tennessee on this. That's the only time I cheer on the Vols.
Tennessee.
Florida's got some players out, or that especially has been out, not practicing as much. Hey, Lou, was that your first Tennessee Vol game?
Yeah, man. I got to go to
How
Stadium. It was electric.
It was electric.
It was awesome. It was the home opener. Yeah, the stadium was packed. It was a neat experience. It's a lot different than the Commonwealth Stadium when we got to go watch the Cats play.
Oh yeah,
which is now the Kroger Field. Right?
And you saw where they misspelled what was it? Review on the
review.
Yeah. Leave it to Kentucky.
Oh man,
REVUW or something.
Hey, one other thing I was going to ask y'all. It kind of made me think of being Kentucky. How many times a week? I know y'all talked about this last week. Does somebody ask you how old you are or how many times you've done something? Is anybody else getting that?
Well, I feel like we talk about this every single time.
You talked about it last week, but I had a lady yesterday.
But I get it every day though.
It never stops. That's why it's on my mind. I get never stop every day.
I've yet to get how many times you've done it, but it's always how old are you?
I know.
You look like you're 16. That's what I always get.
So this lady yesterday, she's kind of one of those crazy people anyway. She looks at me, and we're going to take a tooth out. And she's like, so I hope I'm not the first tooth you pulled out. I'm like, why would you say that? No, this isn't the first tooth I pulled out. And she was like, so I kind of went along with her and I egged it on. She was like, so I'm not going to be your guinea pig? I was like, no, ma'am. He was this morning. He's actually in the hospital. And I just looked at her.
You didn't tell her you had just perfed a tooth in the next room over?
No, I did not.
Joe the perforator. Perforating Joe.
Oh man.
Perforator. That's
attaboy, Joe.
Oh man, if y'all ain't perfing, you ain't doing enough endo.
Y'all got any last words?
Go Vols.
Hey, I just got to say, go Dogs. I'm glad they beat Notre Dame. That was a good game.
I got a word. I want to tell our listeners. Thank you for tuning in.
That catch was off the chain.
Oh, man. That catch was great.
Hey, Scotty, try to sleep in until about 3:45 in the morning, okay?
I'll try, man. I'll try. You got to make those gains, man.
You going to the gym in the morning?
Oh yeah, yeah. I got legs in the morning, so that's gonna be a rough morning.
Oh God.
Get them squats.
I'm impressed.
Hey, send me a workout schedule so I can get on it.
Yeah. You never called me about that. I need to come up and get you a workout plan together.
All it actually is synthol.
Synthol, yeah.
Synthol in the morning.
What's your
synthol
diet like?
Just chicken at dinner.
Oh man.
Hey,
Chicken and synthol?
Chicken and synthol.
Chicken and synthol.
And growth hormone.
And a lot of water.
No, I don't take any of that, so don't believe that.
not anymore.
I'd be a lot bigger if I was.
The office did a drug test, so they had to stop.
Yeah.
Well, Cole,
All
come
right.
down and see us this week, buddy.
All for tuning in to the episode today. Don't forget to follow our journey through life and dentistry on social media. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Life and Dentistry, and on Twitter at Life and Dent. And be sure to watch our new YouTube videos that Lewis has been working on. And you can also visit our website, lifeanddentistry.com. And if you have any questions or comments, or if we can help you in any way, send us an email to lifeanddentistry@gmail.com. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to head over to our reviews and ratings page on iTunes and let us know how we're doing. And also hit the subscribe button. That way you won't have to miss another episode. Again, thank you all for tuning into the show because we couldn't do it without you. And with that, we'll catch you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Chicken and synthol.
The Dental Podcast,
Where real people, real stories.
and real life come together.
This is the Life and Dentistry Podcast.